Hi, and welcome back to another Fresh Look Friday. My name is Laura, and today I have a whole bunch of young adult fiction novels I'd like to share with you today, and they are all in that horror genre. So if you are ready for spooky season, these are definitely ones to check out. The first one is a zombie novel. I love zombies, all zombie movies, zombie books. I'm here for them. This one is an older one. It's the first in a trilogy. It's called The Forest of Hands and Teeth, and it's by Carrie Ryan. What I really enjoyed about this is that it is not a traditional zombie retelling, right? So Mary is our main character. She has grown up in this very secluded community that's all completely fenced in with a forest around her, around this village. And they call this forest the Forest of Hands and Teeth because it is filled with the unconsecrated. And as you read and they describe what these unconsecrated beings are, they're zombies. So the thing about Mary's community is that it's run by a group called the Sisterhood and the Guardians. The Guardians are the ones that protect you from the unconsecrated, and then the Sisterhood are very religious, and they have very, very strict rules you must abide by. And this has been Mary's whole life. She knows nothing different. And as you're reading the story, you're trying to figure out what time frame this is, and you're unsure. There's a lot of religious undertones, like I said. And then the fence is broken. It's breached. And the unconsecrated get into Mary's village. And she discovers lies upon lies upon lies about how she has been raised and what this village stands for. It's a really unique twist on the zombie trope. Forest of Hands and Teeth. Next, this is a psychological thriller. I loved this book. I tell everyone I know about it. I put it in people's hands whenever they come to the library. It is amazing. It's called My Sister Rosa. Our main character, Shay, is 17, and he has a younger sister named Rosa, who is 10. They move around a lot, and they are just now moving to New York City. The thing about Rosa is that she is a legitimate psychopath. No one believes Shay. Shay knows she is dangerous, knows she is too smart and too pretty for her own good. He tries to tell his parents, and they don't listen. They're like, oh, that's just Rosa being Rosa. But she plays games with people. She manipulates people. And remember, she's only 10, which makes this even creepier. And Rosa trusts Shay. So they have this like weird twisted relationship. They love each other deeply, but now there's trust issues, and he's actually starting to kind of fear his sister and what she's capable of. There's a scene in here that I will remember forever that involves peanut butter, a child that is highly, highly allergic to peanuts, and Rosa. And the intent that she has with that peanut butter is so scary. And I think what makes this book so scary is that all of it could actually happen. All of this is based in reality, and there could be a 10-year-old Rosa out there. My Sister Rosa. Then we have a brand new book called The Honeys. Oh, this was so good. From the very first page, I was sucked right in. So The Honeys is about a set of twins named Mars and Caroline. And Caroline dies quite in the beginning of the story, but it's very mysterious circumstances that Caroline dies. Mars, her brother, gender nonconforming, he decides that he needs to figure out what happened to Caroline. Why did she change? Why did she die? What happened? And Caroline's life revolved around this summer camp that she went to. And Mars went when they were younger, but it's a very traditional camp, very traditional gender roles. And there was a bullying incident. He didn't feel like he fit in, and he stopped going. And he felt the distance grow between himself and Caroline after that. So he decides, after Caroline's death, to go to this summer camp. And he meets this group of girls called the Honeys. Caroline was part of the Honeys. They manage the bees and the beehives at the summer camp. This book was twisty and turny, and I didn't know what was happening. I couldn't guess what was going to go next. It's not traditional horror, but there are definitely scary, scary bits. And I was already afraid of bees. Now I'm terrified of them, the honeys. Then, this is a very, very traditional horror book. So good. I still have nightmares about this. This is called And the Trees Crept In. Scylla and Nori are siblings, they're sisters, and they go live with their aunt in a very creepy manor surrounded by very dense woods. So you know it's not going to go well. and Scylla starts noticing very, very creepy things about this house and the woods, and she swears up and down that the woods are slowly moving closer and closer and closer to the house. And she's starting to feel suffocated. And then she sees a boy in the woods. And she doesn't know who he is, and he doesn't speak, and she doesn't know what to do. And then, after a conversation with her little sister Nori, she realizes Nori is playing with someone in the house. But the thing is, there's no one in the house but the two girls and their aunt. And this person that Nori is playing with is this tall, thin man who doesn't have eyes. And Nori is not concerned at all and is not scared at all. And Scylla's like, whoa, 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 this is completely not normal. So what all of these things are happening, and the trees are moving in closer and closer and closer. Again, twists and turns. And what really sold me on this book was the typeface, and the font changes a bunch, and it like really, really sets the tone and the mood for this story. It keeps you on your toes. This is a great one to read on a dark and stormy night, cuddled under a blanket with just like a candle or a lamp next to you. And the trees crept in. If you want to be scared, read this one. And then finally, so this one is not a traditional horror, but I read it and I really wanted to share it with everyone because it is so, I don't even have a word for it. Like, weird doesn't do it, unexpected maybe. Anyway, let me tell you about it. It's called Before Takeoff. It's brand new. It's about James and Michelle. They are both at the Atlanta airport. They've never met before. They're there with their families. They are flying home. James is flying to Chicago, but then there's these delays upon delays upon delays. Like every flight is delayed. It's going to be hours and hours. And he and Michelle meet and start talking and just kind of hanging out. And then they find this green flashing button on this random wall in the airport. And what do? Michelle pushes the button because, why not? And then things start going crazy. Like the weather changes in each terminal. There's a jungle in one terminal. There's a monsoon in another. There's a blizzard in one. 300 some people just randomly disappear. They just disappear. All the music stops. No one can get out of the airport, no matter how hard they try. No one can get out. Their phones are working, but they can't post anything or tell anyone about what's happening in the airport. And the weirdest, creepiest thing about this is that people just continue their lives in this airport like nothing is going on. They keep saying all the flights are delayed. The PA system keeps coming on and apologizing for all of this. And then these little tiny survivalist communities keep popping up in different terminals. Someone builds an igloo, but then the restaurants are still, going on like normal. They're seating people and they're serving food. There's also looting happening at the same time. And through all of this, James and Michelle are developing a relationship. They're developing a friendship that might be something more. They're trying to find their families. They're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It is so interesting. I never knew what was going on. And the whole time, I just kept thinking, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And it's like a survival horror mix. Like you're so scared because you don't know what's happening to your friends, your family. If you're going to survive this, are you ever going to leave the airport? Are the humans that you're trapped there with going to hurt you? Are they not? Are they kind? It was very different and unique. And I think that's what really brought me in Before Takeoff. Well, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully you find something that will scare you, something that's a little spooky. I tried to get a big variety of spooky stories for you. I will be back next time. See ya.